probably, if we want to call Core Labs the optimist, I guess Schlumberger was a little bit more of the pessimist. On the earnings basis, kind of the same thing, some low hurdles to jump over, or actually not jump over. Their fourth quarter revenue was down about 9% compared to actually last quarter. And margins, our pre-tax margins, are down to about 16%, which doesn't sound great considering, over a year ago they were in the high 20s.
So they're having to are they having to cut prices, or why is that?
There's a little bit of a lot of it has to do with activity decline in certain sense. Where if you look in like the land rig market in the United States, there's only about 680, 690 rigs compared to 1,600 that we had more than
a year ago,
18 months ago.
Yeah.
And so you have that of just idled and lack of sales, but you're also seeing one of the things that CEO Pal Kipsgaard actually did mention was that they're seeing lower prices on contracts. Certainly ExxonMobil and Chevron have mentioned this, where they're getting about 15 to 25% savings on their service contracts in terms of like their day rates and things like that. So that's where you're starting to see a lot of the declines in margins and in sales. And, on that 16%, it doesn't sound great coming down from the high 20s. But, I mean, putting it in a little bit of perspective, if you compare them to Halliburton, Baker Hughes, Weatherford International, they still have at least 7 to 8 percentage points higher on their pre-tax margins. So, they're having a good time in comparison to the rest. It's not great, but, And then on their outlook, a little bit of echoes of Core. I mean, not as optimistic. They were saying that in 2016, in the second half, we'll start to see that recovery in oil prices, but they're actually saying that it won't lead to increased drilling and service activity.
There's going to be some conservatism
until 2017,
there,
right? And one of the biggest reasons was the fact that a lot of these producers just have obliterated balance sheets, and they've got to throw some cash back at the business itself before they're ready to take on anything new.
Well, plus it's like, we're at $30 right now, and even if it went back to 60, there'd be some kind of like, okay, is this for real? Because we got flirted with last spring.
Well, yeah, last spring we went to 60, and everybody, not everybody, but there was a small handful of companies that wanted to kind of open the pipes up again. I know Pioneer Natural Resources was one of them,
right?
And that just kind of backfired on them.